welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tala and I am back with another video for y'all today. Today we're just going to be talking about how I study for nursing. I am a senior nursing student. I graduate in December of 2023 and I'm almost done. I'm in my maternity and pediatric rotation of clinicals now and I absolutely love it. I'm not even gonna dwell too long. I'm just gonna get straight into the video. How I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna break down a couple of tips that I have and things that I do and things that has worked for me. Tip number one is to prioritize. Well, people say that all the time, like, oh, you need to prioritize, get your stuff together. But no, seriously, prioritize. Because I'm a firm believer of, yes, I'm in nursing school. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it is very time consuming. But I'm also a firm believer of nursing school is not my life. I did come to school to get my degree, but also I feel like it's important to have a social life, to have friends, to be mentally healthy. Like being in your books all the time is not mentally healthy in my opinion. And the best way to get your books done and also socialize is to prioritize. Get you a planner. I have a planner and I put everything in my planner, every test, every quiz, every track meet, and I know I stay on top of it because without that, I will be so unorganized. That brings me to my next point, organization. Whether you are a paper student or if you study via technology, iPads, computers, all of that stuff, stay organized. Me, I do both. So this is just an example. I have typed up notes and I type the notes up and then I print them out and I highlight and write over them. So I'm kind of doing both, but I'm a type of person that loves to write, loves to highlight. I learn best that way, so I do both. But if you just like to stick to your iPad or computer, that's cool. Just make sure that you have stuff organized. I would have a nursing tab for that class, and when you click on it, it'll break down into further subcategories like notes, PowerPoints, readings, things like that. Tip number 3 is to study early. I've noticed that whenever I at least just read over my notes once a day, I find that I actually learn the material. It actually sticks with me. So get ahead. Like that is literally the best way. Get ahead, because if you get ahead, then that is prioritizing, and if you're prioritizing, you will be able to have a social life. Who doesn't like to have a little party every once in a while? Like that is okay. You don't have to be studying all day, every day, 24/7. This is just a little personal story, I guess, before I move on. I actually failed a nursing class. I failed pharmacology. That was my second semester of nursing school, and I had a lot going on, but that is no excuse. I don't sit here and try to make excuses for myself. Yes, I did have a lot going on, but I'm very smart, very competent, and I just failed the class, and it happened. I was very depressed. I was very sad, embarrassed about it, but now here I am a year and a half later, and I'm like, it is what it is. It's just about what do you do when you fail? Are you gonna stay down or are you gonna build yourself back up? You stay down, and it's just like years later, you'll look back on this moment and be like, dang, if only I would have just brushed myself off, I would probably be the best nurse right now. You have to think about your future. How are you gonna be in the future? You are more than smart enough to dust yourself off and get back up. And that is exactly what I did. I wanted to say that to encourage somebody to keep pushing, even whenever you feel like you can't anymore. Keep pushing, it's okay. Literally every nurse that I know, I'm sure it's some that went through nursing school with a breeze. They're just so smart. That's cool and all, but there's also plenty of people who did not pass a class in nursing school, which is okay. The big issue is, are you gonna pass the NCLEX or not? That's the real question, and that's why I'm very grateful that I did retake the class, because if not, I probably would have struggled on the NCLEX. And I haven't taken the NCLEX yet, but I know drugs are gonna be on that NCLEX, and I didn't know a single one, so I needed to retake that class. So tip number 3, what are you doing to learn this information? And I always watch videos like this and they say the same little thing, like the, you know, prioritize, all of that stuff, and I needed to put that in here because it's the truth. But we're gonna get down into the real how to study. like how to study. Every university is different, so I'm just putting that disclaimer out there. Everybody is different, everybody's university is different. This is what I do. You don't have to do this. Tip number 4, I don't even remember. So I already told y'all I print out my things. So in these study guides, it just breaks down different things. So like this was stuff that I needed to really understand. So if it's stuff that I feel like I really need to know, I'm gonna make a study guide out of it. I'm not gonna make a study guide out of everything, because if that was the case, I would never finish and I would never have enough time to study. So you have to be smart about the things that you're making study guides for. Now, some people may have all the time in the world. Me, unfortunately, I don't. I'm a student athlete. I am a part of many organizations, so I don't have time to just sit and waste time, honestly. So I make study guides of the important things. Like I go through and make them of the important things, and then I highlight things that I feel like is very, very important. Once that's all done, I take the study guides as well as the printed out pages that I wrote on, highlighted on, all of that good stuff, and I talk it out. If someone were to ask me what is the biggest tip that you would give somebody, I would tell them to talk their notes out. So for an example, I would do like this. So I would look at this big picture. This says the average newborn measurements. We're just using this as an example. I took this test already. We're using this as an example. So the big topic is average newborn measurements. So I would read over this, highlight, circle things that I think is important, and then I would put it away. And I would basically pretend like I'm teaching somebody. So I would be like, okay, the average newborn measurements. So by 6 months, they should be doubled in weight. Their height should be 50% more. By a year, they should have tripled their weight. And that's everything that's right here. So if I'm able to pull that from my noggin, that means I know it. Simple. If you have somebody who is willing, like a boyfriend, a sibling, a friend, if they're willing to participate, pretend like you're teaching them. So like, okay, welcome to class, let's talk. Teach it to them. Let them ask you questions, because 9 times out of 10, they're gonna ask dumb questions, but you're gonna remember. You're gonna remember that, hey, I was telling him or her about the average newborn measurements, and he asked me, is the head 50% of their body? You know, it's gonna be something dumb that they're gonna say that's gonna make you be like, oh my god, and it's gonna stick. So yeah, after you have done that multiple times, you can also rewrite stuff. Like if it's small things, like for an example, we had to know the immunization schedule. I sat there and I rewrote the immunization schedule over and over again until I knew which immunizations, which vaccines they needed to take at 2 months, at 4 months, things like that. Like write it out, get a whiteboard, write it out. Things like that that can be just short and sweet and written out, write it out. You still have to be very mindful of your time, because these exams come very, very fast, and then it's also a lot of information to learn in such a short amount of time. So you have to be mindful of your time. You know, it would be nice to sit there and rewrite every single thing, but sometimes that is not always the best answer, and that is, you don't always have time to do that. So you have to just be smart about that. Last tip number 5, I think tip number 5, minimize distractions when you're studying. For me, my cell phone is one of the biggest distractions. Like I will be studying and then I look over, someone texts me and I go to respond to the text message, and next thing you know, I'm scrolling on TikTok. So sometimes take your phone, use your phone, and put a timer on it. Set an alarm for an hour and put it away. And then when the hour comes up, when the alarm goes off, then you can take that time and give yourself like a 15-minute break and go scroll on TikTok, go do something else. But don't get too distracted. Breaks are good, but breaks can also hurt you. I hope that this little video is helping someone, or if you're in nursing school and you're looking for new ways to study, try that method out. And if you have other study tips or tricks that you use, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it, you know? That might help someone else, but this is what works for me. I wish everybody the best of luck if you're in nursing school, or if you're applying for nursing school. You got it. Just keep fighting, keep pushing, keep praying. It is all going to work out. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and continue to watch my other videos. So yeah, be on the lookout for my other videos as well. Bye y'all, love y'all.